Salamat datang ke Malaysia.
Which means welcome to Malaysia.
And in this journey of Malaysia, we'll take you to two cities.
First is Kuala Lumpur and second is
Melaka.
Kuala Lumpur is a hustling, bustling city.
And you will get to see here
Tar,
Petronas Twin Tower.
Aquaria,
Skyscraper buildings.
and a lot of insane street food.
On the other hand, Malacca will give you,
Vibes of a beautiful and peaceful city.
which is the oldest and most cleanest city of Southeast Asia.
Malacca is a UNESCO World Heritage City which is extremely beautiful and clean.
And yes, it's really very clean.
so let us take you to this
Thrilling ride of Malaysia. Hello guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel.
And right now we are at Malaysia airport, and this is our first international trip where we are going to multiple countries in a single trip, which means one country after the other.
Back to back. So this is our 4-country trip, and starting with Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia and Thailand. And in Thailand we are going only Phuket.
So from Malaysia we are going to Singapore, and in this video we are going to tell you the visa process for Malaysia.
Correct. And the second thing is how to book cheap flights, and also what things you need to keep in mind when you are entering to Malaysia.
And how safe we felt while in Malaysia, how we traveled locally, which means public transportation.
And everything you need to know before entering Malaysia.
So let's start with the first question of safety. Since we have completed our trip, we're sitting at the airport, and as a women traveler, Gagan, I would want to ask you, what was your experience from safety point of view?
This country is 100% safe because we both have traveled midnight 12 as well, and we didn't find any issue while roaming around the streets, or as a women traveler there is any point of safety or security. You'll find a lot of MRTs, and the taxi drivers are also female, so from safety point of view it's 100% safe.
Second is visa process.
Visa process is a straightforward process. You can apply for e-visa. You will also be able to see a link on the screen right now. You can go onto the link and quickly apply for e-visa. And for this process you need passport, photograph, flight bookings, hotel bookings.
And the size of the photograph should be very, very, very specific, and it's mentioned on their official website as well.
That is correct. Not only photograph, but also the passport that you will be scanning has to be very much in line with the dimension. So we have created a detailed video on how to apply visa. You should be able to see the link. Please go and see that.
And what was the size of the photograph? Can you specify that?
25 by 50 mm.
Malaysia visa process went a little interesting for both of us. For me it was straightforward. I got the e-visa, but for Gagan it was a story or a history in itself.
Let me tell you in short that initially my visa got rejected, and for the second time I had a penalty, and for the third time I was called for an interview in the embassy, and after the interview finally I got my visa approved.
So the video which we referred earlier for visa detail process, please go and watch that. And if your visa has got rejected, please DM us on Instagram at VisiWonder, and we will try to help you out. So now let's move on to the next segment, which is flight booking. That is your department, so over to you.
So we usually prefer Skyscanner, but I am going to tell you a few more websites like Skyscanner, Vigo and Kayak. So you can refer all these 3 websites while comparing the flight tickets. Also you can also check whether the round trip is cheap or the individual flights are cheap.
So one additional tip for flight booking, let's say Malaysia is towards Calcutta, so you can try if you are getting cheaper flights from Calcutta or Mumbai or Delhi, and then accordingly you can book your flights.
One additional tip, in our ticket we did not buy additional luggage for both of us. We bought it only for one person because 20 kg was enough for both of us. So in that way we saved a lot of money. So third is some of the things that you need to keep in mind before entering into Malaysia. So I'll tell you some of the must-have apps that you should have in your phone. So the first one is, for example, if you want to do some of the activities like visiting KL Tower, so you can do it with one of the application which is Klook, and also I figured out one more application which was Head Out, and both are available as web and app.
And I also remember while booking through these applications, we were able to save a lot of money because there were promo codes available, and we were able to save at least 100 rupees on every ticket we booked.
And the second application which we'll recommend is Grab. It's just like using Ola and Uber in India. It is very efficient, and driver will come into your location in 3 to 4 minutes.
We want to share an example today morning when we were coming from our hotel to airport. Grab was asking for our card details because it was not accepting cash. I'm not sure what was the rule. But then Gagan find out one more application and the name of the application is Maxim. Maxim. So you can also install that application. It is very cheap in comparison to Grab and can help you move from point A to point B.
And the third application is Move It. So it is a efficient app which will tell you the best route from point A to point B, and also along with the fares of MRT, Grab and Maxim. Now fourth point is, which is internal travel in Malaysia.
So for internal travel, there are a lot of train like MRT, LRT, KTM, monorail, airport link rail. So these all are different rail systems where one rail system's ticket doesn't work in other rail system. So it's a complex railway system, but you can ask people here and there because you will find support everywhere. So we also took a photograph of the railway system, so you can take a screen grab of it and it will help you out. There are also buses. Some of the buses are even free of cost. They call them ferry. They will take you from station 1 to station 2. So overall, the internal travel or public transportation is very simple, affordable, and you can talk to people and use it. Now let's move on to the next question.
So the next question is, how conveniently we are using the local transportation. So I'll answer that question. So our BNB was near to PWTC MRT station, but I will recommend if you guys can book a hotel or Airbnb near to KL Central, which is basically like the Rajiv Chowk of Delhi.
So in nutshell, KL Center is like a fulcrum where all the connectivity is available, readily available, and you will save a lot of time traveling from point A to point B. Now let's move to the original point, like how do you move around local transportation locally. So if you have to move around within 4 or 5 kilometer radius, please don't use train, rather use Grab. It will save a lot of time and it's not that expensive. We have wasted a lot of our time when we landed first time in Malaysia. Had we known this earlier, we would have never taken MRT or LRT for a shorter distance, rather dependent on Grab.
So now next we'll talk that what all we have covered in Malaysia or Kuala Lumpur, and what all cities we have explored in Malaysia, and what all you can also explore.
So we have basically covered two cities, Kuala Lumpur. About Kuala Lumpur, Gagan will explain in detail, and the second is Malacca. And let me tell you something about Malacca.
Malacca is a very beautiful, one of the oldest and cleanest city in entire Southeast Asia.
It is extremely beautiful. You should be seeing some glimpses on your screens right now. So we took a one-day trip to Malacca. We started from KL Center and came back to KL Central. So what was the cost, Sylvie?
It was around 980 for both the persons, and it was round trip.
It was 980 INR.
It was 980 INR.
So there are two ways to book bus. So one is basically an online, you can just search online, and the second way is offline. So you can come to the TBS station in the morning and you can book the bus directly from the station to Melaka. So for online, I booked it through Easy Book, and I also got one promo code, and it was an easy process to book the ticket, but for that you need to have an international credit or debit card to make the payment online. So basically we were in Malaysia only for 4 days. So first 3 days we were in Kuala Lumpur, and the fourth day we were in Malacca. So if you want, you can also explore one of the beautiful hill station, which is Cameroon Highlands, and the second one which I'll recommend will be the Penang area. So one of our follower also recommended Penang, and it is one of the beautiful destination of Malaysia, but it's a bit far away from Kuala Lumpur. So now let's talk about what all we did or what all we covered in Kuala Lumpur for 3 days. So we had a 3-day trip, and in which one day we almost discovered the vegetarian food of Kuala Lumpur.
Yeah, so to explore the Malaysian vegetarian food, we went to Chinatown, we went to Little India, and we also discovered a unique gem in Malaysia, which is known as Vegetarian's Paradise, where you can even get the food which is without onion and without garlic. So if you are a Jaini or a vegan, probably you can go to this place. This is amazing.
So basically on day 1 we went to KLCC Park, we went to KL Tower. So we went inside the KL Tower. It's 421 meter, and we also went to the glass box basically. There was one more Twin Tower. We didn't went inside Twin Tower because we already had gone inside KL Tower. We also covered a lot of mall like Surya KLCC, Bukit Bintang, Pavilion Mall, and it was a good experience altogether.
We also went for a very iconic place which is known as Batu Caves. This is the largest Hindu temple in entire Malaysia. It is also considered as the most colorful place in whole of Malaysia. This is a must visit place if you are going to Malaysia and you want to do something for a day trip, then this is a perfect destination.
So the next question is that where we stayed in Malaysia. So we stayed in one of the apartment known as Regalia Suites. It was near to PWTC metro station. The entire society was very beautiful. It has an aquarium inside it. They have a laundry system. They have a supermarket inside the apartment also, and it was amazing. Also, they had a pool at the 37th floor where we can see the Petronas Twin Tower, the high rise buildings, and it was amazing, and it was also included inside the Airbnb cost. We will recommend you to stay near KL Central, but obviously this will be a costly affair to you. So, for example, we stayed in Regalia Suites and the cost was 1600 Indian rupees per night.
So now the next question is, how did we reach airport today, and also from airport how can you reach to your respective hotels? So there are two ways. One, you can book a taxi and straight away go to airport, which was costing us around 65 Malaysian ringgit. But what we did one day before, we went to a bus stand and we took the entire chart of the bus timings, at what time buses start from KL Central towards airport.
So basically, there are two terminals in Kuala Lumpur. One is KLAI 1 and the second is KLAI 2. So once we landed from Delhi to Kuala Lumpur, we landed on KLAI 2, and now our flight to Singapore is also from KLAI 2. So please make sure and check your your ticket, which airport or which terminal your flight will take off.
So we wanted to reach airport on a budget. We took Maxim, which took 8 ringgit and dropped us till KL Central bus stand, and from there we took shuttle, which took 15 ringgit and dropped us on KLAI2 terminal. It took approximately 50 minutes of travel time.
So basically, these are the airport shuttle buses which travel from KLAI 1 and KLAI 2, and also from KL Central station as well. They run every hour, which starts from 3 a.m. in the morning till 11 or 11:30 p.m. at night.
So you must be seeing the schedule of these shuttle buses on the screen right now, and accordingly you can plan your trip in on a budget. Instead of giving 65 ringgit to grab, we just spent 38 ringgit and reached airport on a budget.
So this was our short and crisp informative video on Malaysia or Kuala Lumpur. So we have covered things to do and pro tips, and next will be Singapore.
Yeah, so next will be Singapore. But before we move on to Singapore, I just wanted to inform you that for Forex, we always prefer to carry US dollar, and if we talk about exchange rate, airport you will get $1 equivalent to 4.05 Malaysian ringgit, but if you go into the city center you can get approximately 4.3 or 4.4. So you can get $100 converted at the airport so that you can reach to the city center, and then rest of your money you can always convert in city centers so that you can get a better exchange rate. But always prefer to exchange at a registered exchange, otherwise you might get doomed.
So one last thing which we forgot is basically SIM. So I booked SIM from India only, and I purchased it from Klook, and the pickup location which I chose was Malaysia airport only. So once we take our luggage, there was a kiosk known as Celcom, and there I just showed them the QR code and just showed them the passport, and in return they gave us the SIM, and that was 7 days unlimited SIM.
Yeah, unlimited data, unlimited calls, and the good thing was at the airport itself we got the SIM, so we were independent and we could search anything on Google Map and plan our travel accordingly. So it has been a wonderful trip so far. If you haven't seen the visa vlog, you can go back and see that video, and if you want to see our Hindi videos in detail about each day, then you can follow our channel Veggie Wonder. And if you still have questions, shoot a DM on Instagram at the Veggie Wonder, and we will definitely try to help you out as soon as possible. So this is it, I think. So let's go and catch our Singapore flight. So this is Veggie Wonder signing off, and now we will see you in Singapore.